So, hello guys, my name is Albert R. Salazar. Today we're going to talk about lesson 3 which is engine drivability. So, punta muna tayo sa ating table of contents. Okay, so we have letter A, engine will not crank. B, engine cranks but will not start. C, rough idling. D, overheating. E, high fuel consumption. F, loss of power. G, engine exhaust emits white smoke or black smoke. And H, engine noise. So, meron tayong 8 pag-uusapan ngayon na nasa ating table of contents. So, okay, punta na tayo sa ating pinaka-lesson for today. So, we have engine drivability problems. Okay, so next time. Okay, yan si letter A. Engine will not crank. Okay, so not cranking, yung kumbaga hindi daw gumagana, bigla na lang huminto, no? Okay, so if electric fault, so ito yung mga sa mga problema, mga posibleng problema kumbaga. If electric fault, high resistance in solenoid contacts. So ang pwedeng gawin natin is replace starter. If mechanical engine fault naman, spin main bearing causing drag on crankshaft. So pinaka-ano natin is rebuild entire engine. So the next is typical electrical problems: loose, dirty or corroded terminals and connectors, discharge or faulty battery, faulty starter motor, and faulty control circuits. So, yun yung mga typical electric problems natin sa sasakyan, di ba? Meron tayong discharge or faulty batteries, kumbaga parang ubus na yung laman ng battery. Then, meron tayong loose o dirty, corroded terminals connectors, yung sa may negative positive ng battery, baka madumi na, hindi na dumadali yung kuryente, di ba? Okay, so next tayo. Typical mechanical problems naman, okay? So, we have size piston or bearing, hydrostatic lock from liquid in cylinders, incorrect ignition or valve timing, size alternator, or other belt-driven device. So, ito naman sa ating mga typical mechanical problems naman, size piston or bearing. Pag may problema sa piston o sa bearing, diba? Hydrostatic lock from liquid in cylinders, yan, isa yan. Incorrect ignition or valve timing. So, isa din yun. Kailangan tama yung timing. Baka isa sa mga problema kaya hindi umaanda. Okay, next tayo. We have determine test by the likelihood of the fault. Okay. For example, if vehicle in a parking lot, better chance fault electrical, ease of conducting test visual. So, meron tayo sa example. Easier to perform starter draw test than expect main bearings. Okay. So, next tayo is we have measure starter motor current draw first. We have slow crank with low draw, high resistance, main starter circuit or the starter. Next is low crank with high draw, fault in the starter or engine mechanical fault. So ito naman, if mechanical, check oil and coolant for contamination. So yan, isa sa mga pwede natin gawin yan kapag hindi umandar sa akin natin. So next is, if coolant and oil mix, check head gasket or crack head block. Okay, so ito naman, if no contamination, turn engine over to check if it is tight. Next is, if hard to turn, remove accessories drive belt and spin each accessory before trying to turn engine over again. So last is, if still hard to turn over, meron tayong disassemble components to check them individually. So isa-isahin na natin sila para malaman natin kung ano ba talaga problema. Okay, next time. So, letter B tayo, which is engine cranks but will not start. So, ano nga ba ang cause bakit hindi nag-start, di ba? So, all engines require 3 things to start and run. So, we have fuel, spark, and compression. So, if any one of these isn't there, you aren't going anywhere. So, para sa tao, yung baga, di ba? Pag wala kang baga, syempre di ka makahinga, di ba? So, it's mga importante din yung online sasakyan. Pag wala ka na ito mga to, hindi ka handa, di ba? So, meron tayong symptoms dito, engine crank but won't start. So, mga possible problem yan is sa fuel pump, sa PCM, crank sensor, or sa fuel pressure. So, next tayo. A less common cause is worn starter that draws so many amps while cranking the engine that there's not enough juice. left to identically power the ignition system and fuel injectors. Consumption factors might be a weak battery and or loose road battery cable. So yun nga, baka wala dumadali ng kuryente kasi nga marami na isa may pole ng negative and positive sa battery. So next is no fuel because of dead fuel pump, bad fuel pump, blow fuel pump fuse, plug fuel filter or line, or failed PCM, injector driver circuit relay, or the fuel tank might be empty. Don't believe what the gauge is telling you, or the fuel tank might contain contaminated fuel, water, or too much alcohol, or the wrong type of fuel. Okay, next tayo. No compression because the timing belt or chain is broken. The timing belt or chain is loose, jump out of time, or the overhead camshaft has snapped. A powerful scan tool like AutoTap Press DIY can help isolate the root cause. So with is ignition control. Ignition control module ICM controls ignition hopefully for the life of the vehicle. So yun nga, si ignition control daw yun sa ating ICM kasi sa kanya nagsisimula yung pag-start ignition control Okay, so next tayo, letter C. Okay, so if your vehicle is experiencing rough idling, you'll probably know it immediately. While some cases are less severe than others, a rough idle is usually identifiable by shaking and bouncing sensation in the vehicle. So yun yung parang hihinto-hinto yung vehicle na gano'n, sinasabing shaking and bouncing sensation. So you may also notice odd sounds as well as inconsistent RPM counts. Normally, a vehicle should have smooth and consistent RPM rate of 1,000. If your vehicle is falling below or rising out, this you may be dealing with idling issue. So, pag ganun, baka may idling issue ka na daw. So, next tayo. So, meron tayo ditong 4 common reason why your engine may be idling o nahihirapan naman dyan ba. So, first is vacuum leak. So most vehicles have maze of hoses throughout which create a vacuum for both fuel and air. So since vacuum leak, baka mayroon siyang problema sa vehicle natin kaya nahihirapan yung sakyan natin. So next natin is mayroon tayong spark plugs. Yan isa talaga sa mga cause din yan minsan. A raw idling engine can be caused by spark plugs or spark plug wired. Kasi nga si spark plug is use electrical current received from ignition. So pag walang spark, pag nag-start ka, syempre, hindi anda. Okay, so next tayo is we have dirty fuel injector. So sometimes dirty parts can also be root cause of raw idling engine. Yun. So sometimes daw dirty parts can also be root. Kaya dapat lagi natin nililinis yan. Okay, so we have next is carburetor problems. Okay, older vehicles utilize a carburetor rather than a fuel injector. So yun yung kapag yung sa mga binakas na makina, mayroon dun yung binubomba-bomba, yun carburetor ang tawag doon. Pag nalunod yun parang di ka under doon. So yung mga bagong sakyan daw is meron ng mga fuel injector. Hindi katulad ng mga sakyan is gumagamit pa nito carburetor. Okay, next tayo. So letter D, we have overheating. Okay, common reasons for overheating engines. There are a variety of reasons, marami ba, why vehicle's engine can overheat. Okay, certain example may be quicker fixes, yung mga madali lang magawa. Okay, such as refilling your antifreeze. Yan, isa sa mga yan kasi kailangan lagi yan yung nag-circulate sa engine natin para lumamig yung engine. But other issues may be more permanent if not properly taken care of by professionals. So mas maganda pa rin dalhin natin siya sa professional para mas alam kung ano ba dapat gagawin. Okay, next tayo. So, ito na sa baba is mga common factors that can cause a car to overheat. Okay, so meron tayo, number 1 is 2 liter or no coolant. Driving with the proper levels of coolant, antifreeze may cause a coolant system failure. Yun yung it coolant level lower than manufacturer recommended. Hindi siya refill or top level water no coolant, antifreeze. So, sabi dito is driving with the proper level coolant. Kasi kailangan natin, may sukat kasi yun, kailangan tama lagi nilalagay natin doon lang yung coolant eh. Okay, so next tayo. Number 2, we have cooling system leaks. An empty coolant reservoir tank could be caused by a potential leak. So pag may leak, syempre walang dadaloy doon na na coolant, di ba? Yung nagpapalamig sa engine natin, syempre yun, cause din ng overheating yun kasi walang dumadaloy. Okay, next tayo. Number 3, a broken water pump. Yan, mga mahirap na ano yan. The water pump's job is to circulate the coolant throughout the engine. Yun. So, yung water pump nga, yung trabaho niya nga is mag-circulate ng tubig throughout the engine. Hindi naman as in sa labas ng engine, pero sa loob, may daanan yan. Doon nagsisirculate siya. Pero paano pag broken yun? Siyempre, yung water pump hindi dadalo yun. Okay, next tayo. Meron tayong radiator issue. Ito isa talaga to sa mga issue na nangyayari ng radiators and their fans help to reduce heat from the engine by decreasing coolant temperature. So, same din to, yung radiator. Ito yung lagi nasa unahan ng kotse. Yung kapag binuksan mo, pagtas mo umandar, may itinit pa, kumukulo pa yan. Tapos yung fan, yung sa mga jeep, may mga ganito sa jeep, yung fan eh. May mga fan yung iba sa mga jeep. Nakikita sa unahan. So, next tayo is we have oil too low. Outside of lubricating the engine part, a vehicle motor oil helps control overall temperature. Yan isa din si oil. So, nagpapalamig sa engine natin, di ba? Okay, next tayo. Number 6 is thermostat failure. Like the thermostat in home, the thermostat in the vehicle is needed to regulate engine temperature. Yan, isa din yan. Kaya, kailangan talaga chine-check din natin yan. Number 7 is issues with the belts and hoses. Yan, yung mga dinadaanan ng ano natin, coolant hoses. If coolant hoses are leaking, blocked or ruptured, or if the belts are worn out or frayed, the purpose of maintaining air and coolant flow to and from the engine and related system will be limited and may be lead to unexpected engine damage. Yan, sabi din yan. Kaya dapat chine-check din si hoses. So, number 8 is heater core is plugged up. Coolant flow may be compromised if the engine's heat exchanger unit is clogged or blocked, which can cause overheating in engine's vehicle. Okay. So, ito yung sa mga tips para ma-prevent natin yung pag-overheat. So, first is check your vehicle's coolant level on consistent basis. Lagi natin i-check yan, lalo na kapag aalis pupunta sa mga malalayo ang biyahe, dapat i-check yan. So, store an extra bottle of new antifreeze gallon of water in your trunk. So, dapat lagi talaga tayo may extra, lalo pag nasa mahabang biyahe nga tulad nga, no? Lagi tayo may dalang extra. So, monitor your car's thermostat as you're driving para kita mo kung nag-overheat na ba. So, pwede ka pong na magpahinga. Pahinga mo yung sakyan mo. Diba? So, do not overuse car's air condition extremely hot days. Yun. So, kapag mainit ang panahon, magbukas na lang tayo ng bintana sa sasakyan. Huwag na tayo lagi mag-aircon, di ba? Para hindi nahihirapan din yung sasakyan. So, help cool the engine by running the heat at the first sign of overheating. Okay? Next is, refer to the vehicle owner's manual to stay up to date at coolant service plus. So, yun nga, mayroon tayo lang pagkabibili ng sasakyan, mayroon tayong owner's manual eh. Titignan na natin palagi yun about doon sa pagpalit ng coolant. Okay? Next. So, sabi nga dito is an overheating engine is a sign of serious issue. Talagang seryoso yan kapag nag-overheat. Delikado kasi yan, pwedeng sumabog sa sakyan. O, hindi naman sumabog yan. Sa mga bakit hindi makakandar sa sakyan, uusok na lang yung bigla sa gitna ng kalsada. Okay, so next tayo. Meron tayong letter E. High fuel consumption. So, fuel consumption is a normal phenomenon with internal combustion engines in car because they burn fuel to get the energy to power a vehicle. However, fuel consumption becomes a concern when you realize that a car is consuming more than it's supposed to. Parang may limit lang dapat siya pero sumusobra siya doon sa limit niya. So, if you have noticed that your car is consuming more fuel than it used to, you may want to check on the following. Next tayo. Meron tayong faulty engine. When it comes to petrol engine, failure to replace worn-out spark plug, cleaner elements of fuel filter, as well as maintaining the throttle valve aux sensor will lead to increased fuel consumption. Okay. Next tayo, meron tayong poor engine oil. So, the quality of engine oil you choose to use in your engine can also affect fuel economy. Diba? Okay, so yung sabi nga is the quality of engine oil you choose can also affect fuel economy. Next time is meron tayong pure quality fuels, no? So nowadays daw yung mga you can always get fuel from anywhere, as there are many kiosks and people selling it in bottles. So some legitimate fuel stations have fuels that are mixed with chemical additives to clean in the intake valves of petrol engine and injector nozzle of diesel engines. Okay, next tayo. The air conditioning. So, sabi dito ni Peter Luyima, a mechanical and owner of Genesis Auto Garage on Sir Apollo, Power Road, says driving with the AC on adds an extra load to engine hence. Parang na napuperse yung ano natin, parang na dumadaming trabaho no, kumbaga ng ating engine kapag AC, nakabukas yung ating aircon at yung mga iba pang ginagawa kanya ko pa natin binubuksan. So, meron tayong worn out tires. General condition of a vehicle tires can lead to an increasing in fuel consumption. Yun. Kumbaga kasi yung under ng sasakyan natin, yung kapit ba, nasa tires din minsan yun eh. So, next tayo. Poor maintenance and short distance. Vehicles are less fuel efficient and most polluting at the start of trips and short trip. So, one reason for this is that catalytic converters, which reduce air pollution emission, or not operate properly until they have warmed up. So, next time. Wrong gears yan. This mostly applies to manual cars because automatic transmission will shift up quickly and smoothly if you ease back slightly on the accelerator once the car gathered momentum. Okay? So, driving gear lower in a lower gear than you need waste fuel and letting the engine labor in the gear on hills and corners is also wasteful. Okay, so next tayo. Worn out clutch and warming the car in the morning. So, most cars don't need to be warmed up kasi mga iba sakyan kada umaga siya pag may kapitbahay kami sa marinig mo yan, pinapaanda rin para tinetesting na okay ba yun, dahil okay, chinecheck muna bago sila umalis eh. By idling before setting off, this simply wasted fuel, diba? Simply wasted fuel na daw. Start your car when you are ready to go, yun lang, doon mo lang daw i-start, huwag na yung warm up mo pang ganyan kasi waste talaga ng fuel yan. Okay, next tayo. Driving style na ito. The same advice also goes to people who suddenly stop while driving. Drive at a good distance from the car in front so you can anticipate and move with the flow of traffic. This helps you avoid an unnecessary acceleration and repetitive braking that ends you wasting fuel. Okay. Next is, we have overloading and speeding. Overloading will also increase your fuel consumption because the load puts energy toll on your engine. So, syempre kapag mas mabigat yung dala mo, mas maano si engine, mas lumalakas yung takbo niya kasi mabigat yung dala-dala niya, di ba? So, overspeeding naman. So, a mechanic says vehicles are designed to be driven up to certain speed. Siyempre, pag mas mabilis ka, mas malakas ang kain ng gasolina nun, di ba? Okay, so, next time is F, letter F. We have loss of power naman. So, low compression, gas and diesel engine. In order for a car's engine to function properly and provide adequate power to the vehicle, there must be a good cylinder compression throughout combustion process. Okay, so the compression is low, then the power of engine will be low. The result will be an engine that simply doesn't function properly. Diagnosing low cylinder compression is the next step toward a solution. Okay, next time. Meron tayo clogged fuel filter. So, yun yung parang barado. The fuel filter is located in between the fuel injector and fuel pump of your vehicle. The job of the fuel filter is to screen the gasoline for any impurities which may exist in the way when the fuel pumps the gasoline into the engine. Those impurities won't be there. Okay? So, the fuel filter daw, siya nga nag-screen yung naghaharang na para walang masama mga bato-bato. Kung sabihin natin may bato yung fuel mo, syempre yan doon si fuel filter para maharangan niya yun. Okay? So, next tayo. Bad air filter naman. Okay? The internal combustion chamber of an engine is responsible for making gasoline and air together in order to generate the power that is needed to run your vehicle. Okay? before the air can enter the chamber, must through an air filter that screens out bugs, debris, and kind of intrusion that may exist in. So yun nga, yung hangin, baka may mga kasamang insekto yun, di ba? Kaya pinifilter yan ni air filter natin. So number 4 is clogged exhaust pipe. Yan, baradong exhaust pipe. There are 2 filters in exhaust system. So the muffler and the catalytic converter. The job in the catalytic converter is to cut down the amount of pollution generated from the exhaust gases. As for the muffler naman, it's a job to simply decrease the amount of noise that is made if the exhaust pipe or anyway its filter were to get clogged. It would weaken the functionality of the engine by reducing its power, making the vehicle drive slow when trying to accelerate. Okay? So guys, meron tayong camshaft position sensor malfunction. So, the vehicle's camshaft position is responsible for gathering information about the camshaft speed of the vehicle and then sending it to electronic control module or tinatawag natin ECM. Okay. This module is a computer which is inside most cars on the road today. Yun, kasi may mga ECM na mga sasakyan talaga ngayon. So, next tayo. Number 6, we have MAF sensor malfunction. The main responsibility of mass airflow sensor, yung tinatawag natin MAF, is to measure the amount of air that flows into the engine and then report this amount to powertrain control module, yung tinatawag PCM. From there, the module will use this information to calculate the load that is being placed on the engine. Okay, so next now, meron tayong oxygen sensor malfunction. So, when exhaust gases leave your vehicle's engine, the amount of gases which leave is measured by the oxygen sensor. So, the electronic control module then uses the information to figure out the real-time air-fuel ratio that exists in the vehicle's engine. So, the oxygen sensor is positioned inside the exhaust stream. It enables the engine timing and fuel and their system to do their jobs efficiently. The oxygen sensor even provides support with emission control as well. Number tayo, we have bad fuel injectors. So fuel injectors are important management component of a vehicle's engine. So they are located within the fuel system of vehicle and their main job is to spray fuel inside of the engine. Yun yung nakakabit na mukhang spray na mahaba yan kasi may dinadalawa yan. Tapos meron tigi-isa dyan na parang mukhang spray. Yun yung nag-spray ng fuel, kaya tinawag silang fuel injector. Okay, so next tayo. Bad or weak fuel pump. The responsibility of the fuel pump is to take fuel from the gas tank and transfer it into the engine of the vehicle. Not only that, the fuel pump ensures that the fuel is delivered at the right pressure so that it can meet the demands of the engine or maximum performance. So kung meron tayong bad or weak fuel pump, baka hindi niya magawa itong trabaho niya. Isa sa mga problema din niya. Kaya nagkakaroon ng problema ang ating engine. Number 10 is we have bad spark plug. Isa rin yan. Katulad kaganina na sinabi ko, spark plug, isa rin talaga sa mga problema yan. Are important component of vehicle's internal combustion motor kasi siya nagbibigay ng spark sa sasakyan para umandar. After the ignition coil sends electrical signal to the spark plug, they transmit that signal to the combustion chamber so that its air and fuel mixture can be ignited by electric spark. 11, we have bad ignition coil. So, ignition coils of the ignition system serve as an electronic engine management element which is responsible for converting the 12 volts power generated by the vehicle into 20,000 volts. This amount of voltage is needed in order to generate the electrical spark which can ignite the air and fuel mixture of the engine. Okay, so ito, letter G tayo. We have engine exhaust emits white smoke and black smoke. So may papanood ako sa inyo dito video. So panoorin na lang yan guys. Okay.
What your exhaust smoke is trying to tell you. We've all been there. You catch a glimpse of smoke circling in your rearview mirror and you instantly panic. But not all exhaust smoke is bad, so let's take a look at the combinations of visible emissions from your exhaust and what they mean. Black smoke. The darker smoke emitted from the exhaust is generally nothing to worry about and is linked with the balance of combustion controlled by the ECU. A darker visible exhaust gas is due to an overly rich fuel mixture, created when the air-fuel ratio descends below the optimum ratio. The spark at ignition can only combust a certain amount of fuel in a cycle, so unburnt fuel is pushed out into the exhaust system and is combusted downstream of its intended combustion chamber. These conditions can be caused by a leaking fuel injector, a blocked fuel return pipe, a broken oxygen or airflow sensor, or a fuel pressure regulator stuck closed. A dirty air filter will also prohibit clean air from making it through to the combustion chamber. Not only will this constrict the volume of air entering the cylinders, it will also make for less efficient combustion. Blue smoke. Blue-looking smoke can be found in cars that have unwanted oil mixing with the air-fuel mixture. This means there's a contaminant with the cylinders and it's combusting along with the air and fuel. This cross-contamination is caused by engine wear to the cylinders, pistons and valves, along with failed seals. A damaged valve stem, seal or guide will also allow oil to make its way down from the valve train above the cylinder head, while a damaged piston ring will allow oil from the crankcase to squeeze its way upwards and into the cylinders. The differing pressures within the combustion chamber throughout the engine cycle will lead to oil being sucked through any leaks in the same way that the air-fuel mixture is sucked in via the opening of the inlet valve. This can lead to lack of compression within the cylinders and increased pressure within the crankcase, resulting in decreased power. Blue smoke can be common in modified and turbocharged cars. By turning up the power output in an engine, more stress is applied to each component, increasing wear and the possibility of oil leaks. Turbochargers themselves can also fail, allowing the oil used to lubricate the turbine to spill from bad seals into the cylinders along with the compressed air, adding to the air-fuel mixture contamination. White smoke. White-looking smoke probably isn't smoke at all, but steam, and this can potentially be nothing bad. Or you could be a mile or two away from an engine replacement. You may notice that from a cold start, white smoke will emanate from the exhaust tips. This is nothing to worry about and is created by vapor from combustion. If your car is fully warmed up, the ambient temperature is reasonable, and if your car is still producing steam however, you could be looking at head gasket failure or even a cracked cylinder head or block from overheating. The head gasket is designed to keep the oil and coolant systems apart, along with cementing the cylinder head and combustion chambers together. A split in the gasket will send liquids into places they shouldn't be, and if a head gasket fails in a particular area, coolant will enter the cylinders. The engine will then try to compress and combust water, leading to potentially catastrophic engine damage and also steam pouring out of the exhaust. The size of the leak will dictate how much steam is produced, but often when a head gasket fails, you won't be able to see out of the back window due to your car suddenly morphing into an actual steam engine. If that's the case, then pull over as quickly as you can and pray to the car gods. So there you have it, the differences between engine smoke colors and what they're trying to tell you. Happy smoke diagnosing.
Okay, so yun ang sabi sa ating video. So punta naman tayo sa ating letter H, is engine noise. So noise is after insight into engine's condition. Cracking sound diagnosis can identify whether compression is the same across all cylinder. So kasi kapag di ba pag alam mo may problema engine natin, naririnig lang natin sa labas parang may tumutunog, di ba? So yun yung isa, ito yan, dito natin maano yung kay engine noise. So, first, that is compression is one of the 5 critical requirements for cylinder to operate properly. Yan. Like, sinabi dito, so many time. Disassemble engine before performing cracking sound diagnosis. Disassemble, ibig sabihin natin is kailangan natin siyang tanggalin, baklasin lahat. So, para malaman natin syempre kung saan ba yung noise na natin. So, noise could be misaligned starter, hindi may pagkakalagay na starter natin. So, spanning crankshaft, low compression cylinder, low compression condition. So, yun yung bent valves tsaka broken timing belt. Next tayo is we have engine will make rhythmic cracking sound. Compression is the same as on the cylinder. So, train your ear to pick up different compression sound. Kailangan natin sinahin yung tenga natin para marinig natin yun, di ba? Running engines are relatively quiet. Noises can indicate small issue as well as something majorly wrong. Investigate unusual noises and build on your experience. Okay? Mechanic stethoscope helps to locate engine noise. Yun yung parang sa doktor, yung ginagamit kapag papagin natin yung tibok ng puso. Okay? Sa mekaniko naman, may ganyan din tayo. Para hanapin natin kung saan yung sound, hindi na natin babaklasin yung buong engine. So, alam mo, pag natin sound nandito, ay nandito yan. So, alam mo na, bilang experience ng tao, alam mo na kung ano yung nandun sa part na yun. Kung ano yung, halimbawa, sabihin natin, ay dito yung sa piston to, ganito, ganyan, di ba? So malalaman mo na kaagad kasi meron kayong ginagamit na parang doktor kaso pang ano siya, pang mechanic, diba? Pang mga automotive siya, pang sasakyan talaga mismo. Okay? So mechanical or electronic. Mechanical is most common. Electronic interconnected sound frequency. Okay, meron naman tayong vibration, can be difficult to pinpoint. Mahirap talaga kasi sa labas tayo mismo titingin eh. No? So, from the engine or drivetrain. So, best clue is to determine the vibration occurs with engine running its perspective of vehicle movement. Okay? So, yun lang guys. So, thank you sa pakikinig. Bye!